Hey YouTube, it's the Morning Brew. I'm your host, Eric Castillo, and happy Monday to everybody. So it's raining in San Diego, and of course lightning and thunder has struck, or as I like to call it, the sky is farting, and it hurt so much it cried. Of course this causes chaos and destruction all over San Diego because to us it's the apocalypse. Water is falling from the sky, so it must mean that the world is coming apart. Next thing you know, we'll have traffic jams and smog and gangs roaming the streets. We'll become LA. Anyways, with that said, if you're out there and you're enjoying the rain like I do from the comfort of your home, please stay off the streets because it's not pretty. Anyways, let's start with the news. In the news this past week, tragedy struck the nerd and geek community and Trekkies all over the world as we mourn the passing of the great Leonard Nimoy. The actor, singer, songwriter, writer, and better known for his role as Mr. Spock in the original Star Trek series that ran for 3 seasons, passed away at the age of 83 this past week. And it's a really sad time, of course, because he was the honorary grandfather, as he called himself, to anybody and everybody who would adopt him as such. He said on Twitter, "I'll be anybody's honorary grandfather if you want me to take on the role." Unfortunately for all of us, his passing doesn't come without some regrettable scum of the earth trying to cash in on it. No, we can't be left to mourn a passing of a great actor, a great man, and an inspiration for a lot of geeks out there. No, we mourn his passing and regret the existence that still continues to be the Westboro Baptist Church, who publicly announced that they will be protesting Leonard Nimoy's funeral if given the chance. It's one thing when you mess with, anybody else, military, children. Last time they tried to mess with a military funeral, the victims of a terrorist attack in here in the States, biker gangs actually teamed up to keep them away. Now, if you plan on protesting Leonard Nimoy's funeral, let me just say, there are a lot more geeks, nerds, and especially Trekkies out there that are undeniably outnumber any amount of biker gangs you could ever fear. And we're not the quiet kind. We make that very clear to you at Comic-Con and any other event you protest that we will not stand idly by and let you protest something that you have no reason to be at. Leonard Nimoy was respected and beloved by a lot of people, including the President of the United States. And I don't foresee anybody quietly leaving you be when you're trying to protest. I doubt anybody will let you get close enough, and especially since the family has stated that they will keep the funeral services private, most likely to avoid people like them coming near him. Which is sad considering how many people would like to be there to pay their respects and share their love towards his family, obviously at the moment is suffering from his loss. In happier news though, those kooky Canadians up north are striving to bring back the Spock Your 5 movement. The Canadian $5 bill, as I understand, I'm not saying I've ever seen one. I've heard myths. I've heard legend of Canadian money, but I've never actually seen it. Heard it looks like Monopoly money. I don't know. Anyways, the $5 Canadian dollar bill has a picture of Sir Wilfrid Laurier. I hope I read that correctly. Who was the Prime Minister of Canada from 1896 to 1911. When apparently, a little bit of Sharpie artwork, Sir Wilfrid can resemble Mr. Spock. Fill in the hair, fill in the eyebrows, and make the ears a little pointy, and you just Spocked your 5. Of course, fans that love Mr. Spock would probably like to see Leonard Nimoy on the actual $5 piece in full, Mr. Spock attire, but obviously, we're not England where they put David Tennant and a Dalek on their money. But, again, it's just a really it's really sad. When I came up last week, I foresaw it when I heard that he got hospitalized, and even his last tweet, which unfortunately I don't have on me or wrote down because I'm a dunce, but look it up on Castillo's fan page. It was very poetic and seemed almost the perfect send off for the beloved actor. So yeah, with a little bit of sad and a little bit of terrible scum surfacing to trouble us all, a little bit of happiness can come from it. With the fact that people love them so much and love this character so much that they're willing to deface money for it. That's just wonderful. So with that, not trying to be cheesy, not trying to be ridiculous to Leonard Nimoy and his family and everybody else, live long and prosper. With that said, let's move on with something a little different, something a little bit controversial. Taiwan's Eden Hotel, is now featuring a Batcave room. It has been all the buzz on the internet, aside from that whole dress controversy, which I still don't understand. Don't know what that's about. I have no idea what the dress is about. I saw a lot of memes about it, and I still don't get it. Anyways, the Batcave room features a flat screen TV, a hot tub, a Batman-themed bed, half a Batmobile protruding from the wall, and essentially the entire look and feel of the Batcave if it was a romantic Playboy's den. In other words, if Tony Stark was Batman, this is what the Batcave would look like. Or Hugh Hefner. One and the same. All they're missing is the Iron Man suit. Now, the controversy is not so much for people is not that, ooh, how dare they make something like Batman into a sex den? Well, I think it's worse when you realize that the reason it's not a hotel and so much more of a motel is that the room's only for rent on an hourly basis. So, if you ever go to Taiwan and you decide, I'm going to spend the night at the Batcave hotel room, keep in mind that an hour prior to your arrival, somebody was doing some dirty stuff with the costumes and such. And I don't know if they have enough turnaround time to clean them sheets. Just saying. Keep in mind. As fantastic as the idea sounds of, sliding down the bat pole. And remember, this is not based on the 70s TV show. Wink, wink. The idea of renting a room that's been rented for a couple of hours, who knows how many times prior, it's just, I already have an issue with sleeping in hotels and motels because other people sleep there. And it's weird. And God knows what they do. Now, make it Batman themed, I am even more scared than before. Ooh. Shivers, shakes. Great honeymoon suite. Anyways, so yeah. If you feel like doing a little bit of detective work, bring your black light and don't be shocked when the results come in. With that said, last but not least, a little bit of news from the Capcom/Nintendo front. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, one of the best-selling games of the year so far, and honestly, surprisingly best-selling game, is getting a little DLC love on the 6th. March 6th marks the second-ish DLC pack to be released, and it's free. This time around, you'll get the Legend of Zelda attire with weapons to match. The first DLC pack was a beginner's pack, excuse me, which included some provisions, some herbs, some honey, basic hunter stuff you could use, and then Mario and Luigi costumes for your Palico, which served as great armor and weapons. In fact, so great that they actually make the game a little bit easy in the beginning. But now we have the Legend of Zelda Link costumes coming and weapons, and I suspect that we're going to have a little bit of the same issue. Now, I'm not complaining because I do like the costumes. I am currently playing the game, and I haven't reviewed it because there's a lot to take on with this game. I am still learning a lot of the mechanics, and even though I'm on my 5-star missions, I'm still still learning a lot. So, Capcom has said that they will be releasing monthly DLC until further notice. No word if all of it's going to be free or the majority will be free, but we do still have Metroid costumes coming, Animal Crossing DLC, Street Fighter DLC, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and so on. And of course, Capcom, whenever they release this game, especially in Japan, they continue to release missions, levels, hunts, and everything else that you could want just to keep the game going. So I foresee myself at my current 36 hours into the game, hopefully another 36 or more to add to that, which would be nice. It would be great to really get my money's worth out of this investment. So, yeah, if you're playing the game, let me know in the comments, and maybe we can add each other to the friend codes and go on a hunt together. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and of course, share it with a friend. That's the most important thing. With that noted, I do have a slight announcement to make. This Thursday is my wedding day. For the second time. The right time. I'm gotta be completely sure this time because I'm not turning back time. But there's one thing I didn't get to do. And even though she's off camera and trying really hard not to laugh, I haven't officially proposed to my beloved bride-to-be. So with that, if you will excuse my words, and hopefully I don't embarrass her too much. She knows I don't do things on a small scale. She knows I do them in a larger scale, and I always like to go big or go home. So with that said, without looking at her to try not to break out in tears, because I'm a big old wuss, I'll say this. There are a few times in a man's life when he knows that he's done right. There are a few times in a man's life when he knows that he's made some mistakes, but he's also made some right choices. And there are a few people in the world who could probably agree with this feeling that you know when you have met your second half. Or as they say in Spanish, tu media naranja. Your other half, the other half to your orange. And I know that for me that's now. I can't think of anybody more perfect, more amazing, or more encouraging than the person I've chosen to be my wife. She's the mother of my children. She's given me the greatest gift I could ever ask for, without even ever knowing that she was going to give them to me. I have 2 beautiful daughters and a wonderful son that came from her. And even though I've suffered great loss in recent years, it all can basically balance itself out in a very wonderful way, knowing that I have someone supportive and so loving and so caring that I know that if anything ever happened to me, my children will always be taken care of. So with that, this big lug of a dummy in front of a camera talking to himself at the moment knows full well that I'm the luckiest SOB in the world right now. So with that, I can say, Ronnie, I love you. You mean the world to me, and you make me happier than anything or anyone has ever in my entire life. I don't know why you've chosen to be with me. I don't know if somebody hit you over the head with a bowling ball and you're pulling a Flintstones on me and you've completely forgotten your good taste in men and decided to settle with me. Either way, I'm cashing in on that ticket. I'm not letting it go. So I already know your answer. And I'm trying really hard not to ball down here. But I expect to see a yes somewhere.
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Of course.
If you heard her in the background, I didn't want her to say anything, but there she is. So with that, once again, thank you for tuning in. And if you don't hear from me on Thursday or beyond that, somebody did something. But I'll be sporting a nice suit on Thursday and I'll be happily getting married. So with that, thank you for tuning in, and please, all the best to everyone out there. And once again, to all my friends and family, if we didn't invite you, please don't be upset. we are really not doing anything about it other than showing up, signing paperwork, and moving on with our day. With that, thank you for tuning in, and please do yourselves a favor. Enjoy your brew.